Positive energy all the time. Good to see you all. Gonna kick a little politics. Run those likes up, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and support the channel. You know how we do over here. Rep your city. Everybody on Facebook. I'm representing Chicago. Everybody on Twitch. Everybody on Kick. I'm representing Chicago. And everybody on YouTube. I am representing Chicago, Illinois. Make some noise. Rep your city. Rep your city. Rep your city. We have Atlanta, Georgia in the house with my brother Will of the Most High. Rep your city. Represent your city. We got Naperville in the building. Shout out to all my people out there in Naperville and all the other cities and towns in Illinois, the ill state. Yeah, shout out to all my people in Naperville. I got a lot of friends in Naperville. I got a lot of friends in Peoria. I got a lot of people in Springfield. You name a state, I got friends there. I mean, a city in Illinois, I got people there in the entire Illinois. You name it, I got people there. All the little townships, I can't even name them all. We got the great city of Dallas, Texas in the building. We got my man White Flame representing the ill state. How he do? Got that mask on because the flu is out here crazy. Keep the mask on when you go out in public. Don't have nobody coughing and sneezing on you. I'm telling you. Just put it on when you go around the public. That's all. Grocery store, the gym. I would really stay out the gym. Wait to see how it is. I don't want to panic you. I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm saying anytime they saying it's a possible problem, then move accordingly. What other cities we got here? Rep your city, rep your city. Rep your city. I'm going to talk about politics. I haven't been talking about politics too much. I'm going to break that down because when it comes to politics, I really don't get into politics a lot. We got the beautiful and gorgeous Crystal here representing Newark. Ooh, cutie pie. Shout out to all the beautiful queens that come over here. You ladies always look so lovely. We got B-Mo in the building with my brother Baby Lane representing Baltimore. They call him Baby Lane, and he ain't playing no games. Play with him if you want to. It's going to go bad. Go ahead, play with him. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about politics. You know, politics with me, I only do politics at an election time and only if I'm motivated by a candidate. That's the only time I do politics. I don't cape for politicians like that. So, like, pretty much once the election is over, I just move on. No matter who won, whoever won, won. I treat it just like sports. Yeah, I'm going for the Bears. If the Bears don't win, I move on. I don't cry about it. So I do politics the same way, whether the politician I pick win or lose. Once it's over, I move on. I might only And then I really don't push candidates on social media. I think Harris was the first time I pushed a candidate on social media. I don't really discuss who I'm going to vote for, and we're going to talk about all of that. I typically vote Democrat, but not because I'm in the Democratic Party, but because the city of Chicago is Democrat, all the politicians are Democrat, and it's a lot to that. Maybe I'll talk about that. A lot of younger people don't understand that aspect of it. So they only look at the candidate, they don't look at the whole political network. Right? Because you got people, they say flip Chicago red. That's inaccurate. You would have to flip Illinois red. You would have to flip the whole state red, or if you just get one candidate Republican, they would be a lame duck in a Democratic state. So the politics people are too emotional and they're not realistic about it. Because the reality is when you vote for a candidate, you're rolling the dice, no matter who it is. So anybody tell you this the candidate to vote for, this, listen, when you vote for a candidate, you're rolling the dice. You don't know what they're going to do, whether they're Democrat or Republican. You don't know what they're going to do. You're taking a chance. Every candidate you vote for, you're taking a chance. So if you vote for a Republican president and they get in there and they do a bunch of stuff ain't no good, I can't blame you. I can't blame you and say you shouldn't have voted for them. How the hell you know what they're gonna do? Let's just be honest. Let's say I don't like a lot of stuff Trump's doing. I cannot blame the people that voted for Trump. They don't know what he gonna do. And I wish Americans would become more mature about the facts. The facts is the voters are not responsible for what the candidate get in there and do. The candidate never say they're going to do all that. You would have to show me where Trump said he was going to do all this. He didn't say none of this. He didn't say he was going to invade Venezuela. He didn't say he going to try to take Greenland. He didn't say all of that. He didn't say that. So how can I blame the voters? They don't know what he's going to do. You don't know what Harris would have did. You don't know what nobody would have did. And so that's why I don't get involved with political acts because they're phony. Political lunatics are phony, 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 phony. Because they know that the voters are not responsible for what the winner actually does. We all know that. We all know that. We all know that you cannot blame the voters for everything the winner does. Unless the winner said they're going to do all of that. You can't say, you should have knew. Get the hell out of here. When are we going to be honest? The reality is we've built this system where we don't know what the candidate's going to do. And you're so busy cheerleading for this candidate or that candidate that you're not honest anymore. You're not honest. And the candidates get in there and do whatever the hell they want to do. And then you blame the voters, but you don't blame the candidate. Yeah, but Brandon Johnson in Chicago, mayor, he didn't say he was going to do all the dumb stuff he's been doing, and we voted for him. He didn't tell us all of that, XYZ. Brandon Johnson didn't say that. He didn't say, I'm going to get in there, I'm going to give the migrants all the money. We wouldn't have voted for him. So now when he gets in there and he don't do a job, why would you blame the voters? We keep blaming the voters and not blame the politician. We're not supposed to blame the people that voted for Trump. We're supposed to blame Trump. If Trump got in there and fired 100,000 people that work for the government, them people was Republicans, some of them. So what I look like saying, you shouldn't have voted for Trump, and Trump fires you. You didn't know he was going to fire you? So how can I blame you when you're in the dark? You're in the dark. You vote for him. He fires you. Then I say you shouldn't have voted for him, as if you knew he was going to fire you. How can I blame you? You see what I'm saying? If Brandon Johnson would have said that, he never would have beat all the other blacks in the primary, because they had like 8 blacks, white flames. He never would have got that far. There was other choices. We could have picked a young brother that was sitting there with Vallis eating chicken. Although he needs to not run. He's not going to run no more. He's not going to win nothing because the chicken pitcher going to keep coming up. That is dirty. But we had a whole bunch of choices. We could have picked a dude going around giving away money to everybody. He would have probably been the best mayor. But nobody wanted to deal with him, the older brother. That's really who should have won. The brother that be giving people money for gas and giving everybody $25. Thousands of people he giving $25. Willie Wilson, is that his name? We should have voted for Willie. We should have voted for Willie. We should have voted for Willie. Willie's the only one really care about the people. Willie goes down to the state building and pays people property taxes so they won't lose their homes. He's already got a track record. Willie Wilson goes to the state building. If you're about to lose your home right now for state taxes, you can call Willie Wilson and he will straighten it out. That is a fact. Will save your house. He should have been the mayor. Willie Wilson. He's the best one. Willie Wilson, if he was the president of the United States would be running great. He's a self-made millionaire, and he's a very nice person, and he looks out for the poor. And he's highly intelligent. But for me, the Democrats and Republicans are too extreme. I don't like either party. They're too extreme as a party. This one way over here with some nut stuff, and this one's way over here with some nut stuff. Ain't no moderates. Nobody's in the middle. This one's way over here. This one's way over there. These are the worst political parties in American history. Today's Democrats and Republicans are the worst in America. Both parties are the worst in American history. And Americans are suckers arguing over two parties that ain't no damn good. The Republicans and the Democrats ain't worth a hill of beans. Neither party. They not worth nothing. It's the old saying, from one extreme to another. It's crazy. And you trying to pick this extreme over this extreme. And nobody tells them, y'all too extreme. The Democrats, they want to have a party regulating sex. We don't want no party worrying about gay stuff. Gay stuff ain't got nothing to do with running the country. You up here trying to worry about who's LGBTQ and taxes is high and this is high and that is high, and you own some sex. Nobody care nothing about that. Let them sue a discrimination lawsuit in the court, just like everybody else. Don't federalize gay. You ain't federalized being a heterosexual. Where's the heterosexual flag up on the White House? Where's the heterosexual flag? Because the gays ain't doing nothing. The gays ain't had no babies. Every baby born in this country, every person in this country comes from heterosexual sex. Nobody comes from gay sex. Now, I don't believe in hating on the gays, but that could be dealt with in the courtroom. That don't got to be dealt with in the government. We want the government to govern. That's what we want. Because gay people still don't want no high property taxes, do they? Gay people don't want to have no unnecessary wars, do they? All right, then forget the gay stuff. Nobody cares if you're gay. We don't want no gay agenda. And on the Republican side, we don't want no nonsense. Now, I'm going to be honest. The extremism on the Republican side is the Democrats' fault. The Democrats are to blame for all of this. The Democratic Party are responsible for the nut Republicans. They created them. Yes. The Democrats created the Trump regime. The Democrats ruined the United States government, ruined it. Going down, tearing down statues of American history. What you do that for? Now they going to get down there and tear down your stuff. You wasn't supposed to tear down those statues. I don't give a damn what them people did. Whatever they did, they got statues from the government. Leave that shit there. If it's a guy, don't show me no statue in no park and say, yeah, bro, he's a racist. Well, hell, the whole goddamn country's a racist. Then tear the whole damn country down. How is the Democratic Party knocking down statues of racists that was ran in a period when we was in slavery, but didn't give us no reparations? Fuck a statue, where's my reparations? Okay, if slavery was so bad and racism was so bad that you got to knock down statues, where's my reparations? Now when we ask for reparations, what? It wasn't that bad. Well, it wasn't that bad. Make it make some sense. I speak for Black Americans, foundational Black Americans. We would have preferred to leave the statues up and give us our reparations. Leave the statues up and give us our money. Leave the statues up and give me my money. I never gave a damn about no statue who got a statue. Don't start knocking down statues of Christopher Columbus and General Lee and all. Leave them up. Let me tell you something, Lucas. Give me my money. And if you don't agree with them giving me my money, you don't count. You're a nobody. You can't tell me on what I want. Lucas, you got to mind your own business. So if you don't want reparations, that's your business. You cannot tell me what I feel like I'm due. Okay? You're crossing the line. Because the money they gave the Jews can't atone for what happened to them either. The money they giving the Native Americans can't atone, but they still got the money. Checkmate. So shut up talking to me, because everybody else got paid and it can't atone. Let me delete this comment. I don't want to hear the can't atone. Everybody else got paid. It atoned for everybody else. Get the hell out of here. It atoned for everybody else. He talking about it can't atone, but everybody else got paid. All the whites got money. All the farmers got money. White people got a whole bunch of money in this country for nothing happening to them. They got all kind of federal programs in this country. White people got all kind of money, all kind of stuff for their homes and stuff. Back in the early 1900s, mid 1900s, they gave them all kind of money. White people didn't get them farms. The government gave them the money for them farms and everything. They got all kind of government bills. As a matter of fact, some military payments went out, and white mailmen would burn up the money for the black veterans. The white mailmen, when they would deliver the mail, and they seen that a black man was getting a check from the government, they would burn his up. So if you don't want to talk about that, don't come over here. Don't come over here and talk about no atonement with no money I own. In the street, you can't do that. Don't come over here doing nothing. I don't even want to hear nothing you got to say no more. I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to hear from you no more. Come back tomorrow. Because where I live at, if I'm in the street, if somebody owe me $250, and I go tell him, hey man, where my money? Lucas, if you got in that, you'll be in the same shoe he'd be in if he don't give me my money. So you're doing something we don't do in the street. If somebody owe me some money, Lucas, you can't say nothing. You have to mind your business on the streets. Listen, if somebody owe me some money and I step to them with some money and you get in the way, you're going to get the same thing they're going to get if this person don't give me my money. As a matter of fact, run your pockets too. Yeah. Put your money where your mouth at. So you can't get involved with nobody when somebody owes money. And any decent white man, anybody will tell you that. If somebody owe them some money, stay out of it. They determine who owe them. I cannot tell him don't nobody owe him. He know who owe him, and he wants his money. I'm never going to listen to somebody that's not owed nothing tell me I'm not owed nothing, because of course you're going to say that because it ain't your money that they owe you. So unless you can show me where your family picked the cotton, like man, don't talk to me. And if your family did pick the cotton and you don't want the money, you a sucker. So to all you black brothers out there that don't support reparations, yeah, y'all suckers. Sellouts. Negroes that stay on your knees. That's why you a Negro. Because you always on your knee and you don't never grow. You little and you on your knees. Shut up talking to me. Because if you was a black man that ain't for reparations, I would never hang out with you a day in my life. Never. I would never, ever socialize with you, ever. If it's a family function and I find out you there, I'm telling my wife I'm not going. I'm not going. I don't want to see you. Because to me, all you black men that ain't for reparations, you a disgrace. Y'all disgraces to your race. You're a disgrace to your ancestors. No matter what you say, you are a disgrace. to your ancestors. You a disgrace. You're an embarrassment to your family. You're an embarrassment to your children. You're an embarrassment to your grandchildren. And you have betrayed your ancestors. I wouldn't talk to you. I wouldn't argue with you. I wouldn't talk to you. I wouldn't talk to you. I think all the blacks like that, all the black men especially, should be ostracized because the women gonna follow the men. I feel like any black man that's not for reparations, unfollow him, block him, and ostracize him from our conversations. Let him go talk with some more losers. Don't let them in our conversation. Block them. Banish them from our social media community. Leave them out on the island. Make them think about it. Let them go follow their own kind. Because losers of the feathers should lose together. Let them find some more losers. Because you're a liar too. Because any brother that tell you, any black man say he's against reparations is a liar. Because when we fight and get it, he gonna go get it. He's a liar. There's a liar. He's a liar. Any black man, a black person, foundational black American, that say they not for reparations is a liar. Because when we fight and get it, you think they're gonna say, no, I don't want mine. They're liars. They don't believe it's gonna happen. So they fight against the movement because they're what Christ used to call non-believers, losers. Losers. You're such a loser that if you came around me and said I wouldn't even tell you, I would just walk away. I wouldn't even tell you you're a loser. That's how much of a loser you are. If you're a foundational black man that's speaking against reparation, you're worse than a loser. I would never talk to you a day in my life. A day in my life. And if I found out you got a business or anything, we should cut off every dime you get. You shouldn't get a dime from black people. Not a dime. If we find out you got a store, you got a trucking company, we should boycott it. Don't spend no money with them. Don't do no business with them and ostracize them and don't do socialize them. Because if you was Jewish and you spoke against the Jewish community in this country, they would ostracize you. When the Jewish people wanted reparations for what happened in Germany, if a Jewish person would have spoke against that, they would have been banished from all contact and all activity. That's a fact. But back to this political situation, the politics has gotten too silly for me. I can't. Both parties are horrible. No, brothers go against the grain, not because they won't be checked, because they don't believe we're going to get it. G-Rock, you think anybody that thought they had a possibility to get reparations would speak against it, as money hungry as people are? The people that speak against it don't believe we're going to get it. That's the main reason. Because if we was going to get it, you wouldn't see nobody say they don't want it. You believe, G-Rock, that any of these people would refuse it if we got it? If we got reparations, you believe any of them would say, I don't want it. Listen, y'all been in life. You could be out here doing something to build something, right? Something that's going to have a reward. And you'll have people talk against it or don't help you build it. But once you build it, tell me I'm lying, and the reward is there, who the first people going to get in line? The first people going to get in line was the lazy people that didn't do nothing and the people that said it wasn't going to work, going to be the first one in line. Man, shoot, I can't believe this happened. Man, you know, I can't believe this happened. You know, I can't believe this happened, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I didn't think it was happening, but I'm glad. I'm glad it happened. Come on. Everything you do, people don't help you until it's successful. You're a rapper. Tell me I'm lying, brothers. You're a rapper and sisters. You a singer. You got your little song off. You put your song on social media. You start getting fans like your song. No cousins, no relatives, none of your friends liking it. None of your friends sharing it. Nobody. Nobody that be around you is pushing your music. You push, you push, you push. You start building up fans. You end up getting a whole bunch of fans looking at you. Your music career take off. When your music career take off and you in the limelight, there go your sister. That's my brother. There go your cousin. That's my cousin. Not only do they do that, they start saying, man, my cousin Pharaoh blew up. Now he act like he don't know the family. Now he act like he don't know the family. But the family can't show you nowhere they promoted me. Nowhere. They start saying, he done got up there and he done changed. He done changed. Listen, I've been changing. You just wasn't there. Yeah, I changed from somebody that didn't have a recording career to somebody that do got a recording career. Yeah, I changed. You were supposed to be there and change with me. You stayed the same. Because I had somebody tell me you changed. I said, yeah, you stayed the same. You're still a buster and a loser. You should have changed too, punk. Get out of my face before you get changed over. I ain't pushing no violence. I'm just saying I changed. Yeah, I changed. I changed a lot of way. Get out of my face. I definitely changed with you. You're not cool like that. You ain't support me. Nobody supports you. You're a queen. You go out here, you meet this guy. You say he's a great guy. Your family, I guess so. You gotta watch him. You can't trust him. You stay with him, you get married. You get married, y'all start doing well. You and your new husband, you get a nice home, nice car, you living good. Them same people, they all up in your house, ain't they? They all up in your house smiling with your new man. Oh, Mark be taking care of me. Mark, not only that, they flirting with him. The same people told you he ain't no good, all in his face. You have a party. Your auntie come over with the sexiest dress she could find when you invite her to come and hang out with you and your new husband. She come, right? She come, and you can see that she overdid it. Like she dressed for him. She trying to get his attention. She ain't dressed like she coming to see her sister or her auntie or her friend. She dressed like she wants your man to see her. But she was the one saying he wasn't no good. She didn't support the relationship. The person over there, y'all doing good. Mm-hmm. Girl, he love you. Oh, God. Yeah. Y'all know I ain't lying. But listen, to all the people, Americans watching me, listen, it's time for Americans to wake up. Our politicians are horrible. Stop trying to pick the difference between horrible and terrible, okay? We like, well, I support terrible because they horrible. You know what I'm saying? I support horrible because that's what they got us doing. Am I lying, America? Am I lying? We got terrible over here and horrible over here. And they trying to get our attention by saying, well, he the most terriblest one. They the most terriblest. They the most horrible. I mean, we a little horrible, but we not as horrible as them, right? In the meantime, look, I went to the grocery store yesterday. I had went one place to get some milk for my workout, and then I went to Whole Foods. So I had 4 bags from Whole Foods, and I had the bag with the milks. One of the bags was none but some natural toilet paper, a big pack of natural toilet paper, bamboo toilet paper, right? That's all that was in that bag. I get to the building, I get to the elevator. It's 2 brothers. The brother said, "Look at that. That's $100. That's $100 worth of food right there you got, man." Right? Pocket watching my food. Now I understand why they was saying that. They was basically saying the price of food is too high, and that got to be $100. So I understand why they say that, because it was $100 worth of shit. But one of the bags was number toilet paper, but the toilet paper was expensive for something I'm gonna flush down the toilet. I'ma just keep it real. Just because I want some toilet paper ain't got no bleach on it and have no bleach going all up in me. Oh, you don't want no bleach? Now the one with bleach and all the chemicals you can get for $4. Now if you want the one that's healthy, now you want to pay you want to pay $8 for healthy one. I swear to God. If you want to live, oh, to live, you got to pay more. Now, you can get this stuff to die. You understand? Like that. You say your biggest fear is that if we don't pay, no, if you don't pay Black Americans, our Almighty God is going to be flood, earthquakes, storms, tornadoes, hurricanes, fires. Is going to wipe you out. Because Black people, we the children of the Most High, we the children of Israel and all the other gods. So if you don't do us right, the Most High going to wipe you out. That's a fact. Yeah, Charles. You ain't got to do us right. Keep playing. And your house going to be underwater. The tornado coming right on your block. I don't care where you at, Germany, wherever. The Most High going to find you and going to destroy everything you got. So go ahead, play. Because we plugged with Mother Nature. And we original people. We gave birth to all of y'all. We gave birth to everybody, and the continent split, and everybody turned to all these different colors and stuff. But you come from us. You come from us. You come from us. And anytime you evil and you don't do people right, then you don't do the ocean right. You don't do nature right. You don't do the animals right. See, once you wrong, you're going to be wrong all the way around the board. You're not going to be half wrong. And so the wickedness in this world, the same wickedness that's working hard to keep Blacks and African all over down, this the same wickedness destroying the forest, pulling all the animals out the ocean to eat them, putting animals in zoos, because when a person got animals in zoos, then that person will definitely have slaves. So the whole concept of the Babylon system is satanic and demonic. You understand? So that's what's going on, Charles. We're in a dark, demonic system. And the bad thing about it is, if people is corrupt, Charles, then we all suffer because the Most High feel like we should have stopped them. So like, if you let somebody, if I live somewhere and I let you cut down all the trees, whatever storm comes, I'm going to get it too, because I shouldn't have let you do that. So everybody's guilty because we letting people ruin the planet that we all got to live on. We didn't bow down to Lucifer, basically. So we all going to pay. But some of us are going to have a better survival rate because nobody going to pay as much as the initiators of the problem. And these political parties all around the world are responsible because these political parties are nobodies. These political parties are bought and paid for by whoever pays for their campaign. They don't run nothing. So we have a corrupt political system where you need a certain amount of money to run for office. And whoever gives you the money is really the president. So whoever gave Trump the most money runs this country. Period. He don't run nothing. And so to be a politician and run something, they got to get a bunch of rich people to give money, and they got a bunch of people to run money. Now, this is how I go. This is the rich right here. The rich create all these rich. Now, if you want to run for president, you don't get to deal with this rich. You got to deal with one of these. So these help one campaign, and these help the other campaign. But they all owned by him. So the Republicans are funded by him, and the Democrats are funded by him. Both sides is funded by the rich one at the top that have smaller rich ones. You fund this side, and you fund that side. No matter what, they win. No matter who's the president, they win. If you win and you begin to do stuff they don't like, they begin to shut down your economy. They shut down your economy, you get the blame, run again, the person that's going to do what they tell them to do gets the job. Trump going to do whatever somebody pay him, tell him to do. You can pay him and he going to do it. That's why he's the president, because you could pay him. Because he's taking bribes right in front of everybody. He's taking airplanes from foreign countries. He's just straight up. He's doing it straight out. But the rich with the money runs both sides. That's why both political parties are too extreme. Because they don't run nothing. They're at the mercy of whoever got the money to pay for them to run for office. That's a fact. And until Americans realize that and stop playing that game, it's going to get worse. Because you can't run unless you got money. Once you only got money because somebody supports you. And if somebody supports you, you got to do what they tell. You got to do what they tell you. So when you see Trump there with that pen, look at all them men standing behind him looking at him. Them the ones they're like, yeah, sign it, punk. Sign it. Listen, if you watch any president when they sign a bill, they have these people standing around them. Those people are the sponsors of the rich people. That's the people that keep an eye on you. Yeah, Pharaoh, go down there and watch his ass and make sure he signed that bill. So when you see me standing behind the president, watching them sign the bill, I'm paid for by the higher ups. I represent the higher ups. Because if you even look at the picture, the president be looking like a chump. Look, when you see the president sitting at his desk and he's signing the bill, and you see people standing over him, do he look like a boss? No. They look like they the bosses. They standing over him like this. Yeah, sign it, punk. You ain't noticed that? Who is them people standing behind the president when he signed the bill? He doesn't look like a leader. He looked like he's being told what to do. Yeah, and they always have that weird smile like, good boy. Like, good boy. You understand? They slow, Charles, because paying Black Americans would be the biggest help to the country, because Black Americans got to buy everything from white Americans. So they kind of got so much hate, they shoot themselves in the foot. The best stimulus in the country, give the Black Americans that money. When you give them that money, they want to buy homes. They want to get their garage fixed. They want to get their concrete redone. They want to get cars. They want to get that, which goes to mostly a lot of white Americans that own the businesses. The money would go, okay, this is the money. The money would go to Black Americans, and then this the money, and then this money would go back into the country. Half of the money would go right back to white America, which is perfect, which in return will have to create more jobs. So now they got to hire Black people. See, when the economy was going in the 70s, when I got out of high school, they had to hire everybody. They got to hire whoever want a job. They can't just hire white. They can't just hire Hispanic. When the economy's going, anybody want to come in here and do the work, they got to hire them. When you start letting the people with money run stuff, the people with money now saying, you know what? We could bring in robotics. We could bring in automation. We don't need people at all. This is what white Americans are now facing. See, white Americans, it's going to be bad for them, because now they're going automation, robots, cashless, and they not doing discriminate against Blacks no more. Now they doing, we don't need no people. We don't need no people. We don't care if you lose your farm, because we're going to bring in robots to pick your tomatoes, to pick your stuff. You don't have enough money to operate this farm. So we're going to let you lose your farm, and we're going to let billionaires and multimillionaires buy your farm, somebody that can afford automated pickers, automated fertilized machines that can water it with automation. The white farmer's about to lose his farm. It's over for him. It's over for him. He's about to lose his farm. It's over. Farm gone. It's over. It's over for them. Farm gone. It's over. Done. They don't need them no more. They're not doing human labor anymore. Human labor is over. And so white America uh, is about to be a victim. Yeah, it's bad. It's extremely bad. It's extremely bad. Because they're going industrial now. It's industrial farming. No more, no more. They don't need you no more. If you don't have the money, if you don't have that big money to pay for the farm equipment that can do that stuff on its own, you're done. You have to have the money now for those automated tractors and stuff like that. You have to have those automated sprinklers. You have to have those automated crop dusters. You're going to have the automated things that pick the food pickers. Those things are very expensive. So, if you're going to get priced out of farming. It's over for the farmers. They're done. They don't need people. Y'all really think they chasing all them Venezuelans out of here if they really needed them? You really think they ran all them people out of here and left all them farms with nobody to pick that fruit for nothing? They did that so that those farmers go broke, lose their farms. Big Corp comes in and buys the farm and brings in automation. Brings in automation. Period. And everything, you're done. You're done because everything's going to be fully automated. Everything. You're not going to make no car, nothing. They want to put you on universal basic income. Where you going to work at? And both parties know it. They know it. I seen the video. It was like 4 cab drivers at the airport. They sitting over here. And over here, right, is Waymos. And Waymos is picking up everybody. And ain't nobody's getting in the cab. When I got to Arizona, I went to Arizona about 6 months ago, 7 months ago. I went to Arizona. And when I got to Arizona, I got in the Uber to go to my location. When we got off the freeway, we pulled to a street, and all we got to do is make a left, and I'll be in my location. So I'm sitting at the light in the far left lane. They waiting on the arrow. I see a Waymo. It's the first time I've seen them because I'm in Chicago. We don't have them. I see a Waymo go this way. Sitting at the light. I see 2 Waymos. 3 Waymos. I'm just sitting at the light. You ain't at the light long enough to change. The light changed. I seen 4 Waymos. just sitting at the light waiting to turn. I'm looking at the Uber driver and I'm thinking, your job is gone. Your job is gone. It was so crazy that I filmed it. I was in the car and I stuck my camera and I had to film it because I know nobody would believe me. How many of these things just driving around? You're not going to have no job. Look. It was all over the place. You seen the guy just sitting there, nobody in the steering wheel. He was wondering why I was filming him. He was just sitting in the passenger seat. Wasn't nobody driving. All right, how many jobs is that? How many jobs is that? Okay, DoorDash. Do they need you? No. They can take the food, put it in the Waymo. The Waymo pull in front of your house till you come out and get your food. Do they need Uber Eats? No. Put it in a Waymo, it comes. In certain places, they got drones fly, drop your groceries right in your backyard, drop your food right in your backyard, drop your food right in front of your house, the drones. Who gonna replace all them jobs? They got, you go to the doctor, you're gonna go to a machine, right? You're gonna go to a machine, and the machine gonna do your whole checkup, include give you vaccinations and everything. Facts. The machine gonna take your blood pressure, gonna run all your vitals, you're gonna be out of the hospital faster than ever before. You're gonna be out of the hospital faster than ever before. It ain't gonna be no cashiers. You're gonna have to go to self-checkout. It ain't gonna be no banks because it ain't gonna be no cash. So ain't no need to go to the bank. Everything digital. People don't understand when you go to digital, you don't need a bank because a bank is not to do transactions. A bank is not there to do financial transactions. Did y'all know that? Banks are not to do financial transactions. That's not what banks are for. They do financial transactions, but that's not what banks are for. Banks were designed to make sure that you couldn't get robbed. This is the only thing a bank was for, to secure the money. Go back and watch Westerns. They constantly had to upgrade the bank to make it so you couldn't rob it. And these vaults in banks, this is the heart of the bank. This is the heart and brains of the bank. Let me ask you something. How much you think this safe costs in that bank to install with solid metal walls and everything where you can't, where it's impenetrable. How much you think it costs for the vaults in the banks? The vaults cost 10 times more than the whole bank. Look at that. Do that look cheap? If you go into a cashless society, do you need that? You don't need that in a cashless society. You don't need that. For what? Banks will be done. No cash. What do you need a bank for? If you think I'm lying, go to a bank. I bet you ain't nobody in there. I bet you if you go to the bank and you want to open an account, most times they're going to tell you got to make an appointment. They ain't got nobody to do that. And they might sometimes they only got one teller, maybe two. Don't be no tellers in no bank no more. If you go in the bank, they got 5 windows, 2 tellers. If you go in Target, 5 places for you to pay, 2 tellers. If you go to Walmart, especially Walmart and Target, if you go to Walmart and Target, sometime I come down the stairs at Target. When you get down there, you're going to see a whole bunch of registers. Ain't nothing but 2 of them open. And then down on the end, they got self-checkout. If you go to Whole Foods right now, I just went to Whole Foods yesterday. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 cash registers. Only 2 be open. 6 don't never be open. And then down on the end, they got the self-checkout. So they got a whole bunch of space in the stores where nobody never be at. How long you think they're going to leave that there? How long you think they're going to leave 8 aisles at Walmart to pay and only 2 open? No, they're going to rearrange that. That's a waste of space. Y'all ain't noticed they don't use nothing? You understand? They're going into a cashless society. Crypto, Charles, crypto is trash. Crypto's not real. Crypto is illegal money that they allowed to be legal to encourage you to go cashless. Crypto is only to encourage you to go cashless. There's not going to be no cryptocurrency once the federal currency go digital. They're not going to allow anything but one digital currency. They are not going to let you have 2 or 3 digital currencies. Crypto is out of here. Crypto was just a trick to get more people to go digital. Because crypto is criminal money. And they busted many of the criminals, and the government tried to take over the criminal money. That way the government could shut down crypto and transfer it over to the CDCs and to the government money. Ain't going to be no crypto. And crypto is criminal money that they decriminalized. There ain't going to be no crypto. Nobody's going to accept crypto. Crypto is out of here. Yeah, crypto's gone. Crypto's on its last leg. Everything going to be fed now. You see my age, people like, blah, blah, blah. You know why people probably don't think I know what I'm talking about with crypto? They think it's new. They think crypto is old. Crypto was the way that you did offshore banking. Crypto was the way you bought illegal stuff without the government knowing. Now, crypto is old. It's illegal money that the government then took over. Since the 80s it's been out. It's been out. Crypto been out since like the 60s. They just didn't call it crypto, Giro. Crypto been out since like the 60s, 50s, or 60s. Mainly like the 60s towards the 70s. So when you watch the gangster movies and they be talking about sending money offshore, that was crypto. So like when I lived in Hawaii, if you was a big grower and you growing like, 200,000 plants, 300,000 plants, and you got to get fertilizer and you got to get plant food and buck and all the things needed to grow. If you go in the store, they gonna know. So what we had to do is, if I wanted to get a bunch of fertilizer, I had to go on what y'all used to call the dark web and make my purchase. That was crypto. It was a way to do criminal business, prostitution, child trafficking, drugs, what guns, illegal guns. It was the connection to the whole offshore banking stuff. So it was a way for me to get a lot of stuff to grow without the government or the Fed seeing the transaction. We had to find a way to buy all these pots and plants and fertilizer to grow marijuana without uh, the Hawaiian police, state police, FBI, without them seeing the transaction. Because you can't just go and buy stuff to grow a whole bunch of plants and you ain't got no farm or nothing. The Fed's gonna be like, why is you buying all this grow equipment? You don't got no farm. So crypto was how prostitution was done, child trafficking, illegal weapons. That was crypto. That was the way you did the transactions. It blew up in the 80s, though. It blew up in the 80s in Miami from the cocaine business. So in Miami, in the cocaine business, the bankers was funding the cocaine and the heroin. So in the banks, they got these servers. So these servers control all the bank business. But the banks start having secret walls where they had servers that the feds couldn't see. So when the feds come check the bank, they take them and you see all these servers. But you could push a button and one of them servers will move, and then there's another room got a bunch of servers. That was crypto. That's where you could do the offshore banking, send your money, right? You see how they always talk about they send their money offshore, they send their money to some either Caymans or whatever. That's crypto. So those hidden machines that the banks use, the reason it's called crypto is because the way they did transaction was encrypted. It wasn't done the way the regular banking is done. See, crypto means encrypted. So crypto was a way to send money another digital way where the feds couldn't see it like the typical digital transactions. Because you got the regular digital transaction, then you got the encrypted digital transaction, and this is how they were sending all that money from cocaine to offshore banking. What you think offshore banking was? Crypto, encrypted sale, encrypted money transfers that the Feds can't see. The FDIC can't see it. The FDIC busted them. When they busted them, then the government got in the crypto business. If you don't believe cryptocurrency is the government, you a fool. They got you thinking, oh, cryptocurrency, that ain't the government. Yeah, right. So you really believe you can go on your phone, right? And you can go and get and check your crypto on your phone. And you telling me that's not government sanctioned on your phone? Because I got that shit in my phone. Yeah, I heard that ICE can do whatever they want to do. Tina, yes. ICE can come into your house, can do whatever. Next, they'll be like, why ICE in your house? If they see something illegal, they can notify the authorities to come in for that. So once they get in your house, now they can have the DEA or FBI or local police come in if they find anything illegal. That ain't even got nothing to do with how they entered your house. But Tina, that's not gonna work because the citizens are gonna take up arms against that. That's not gonna work. No, that's not gonna work. ICE, the situation with ICE is gonna turn into a mess. Martial law is not gonna work in the United States. It's not gonna work. Too many Americans got guns. Law enforcement is outgunned and outmanned. The citizens got more guns than they don't got no military enough. The citizens got too many guns. That's why America's the greatest place on earth to live. Trump just dreaming. That shit not gonna never work. That shit ain't gonna never work. That shit ain't gonna work. Y'all really believe somebody just gonna run up in my shit and I'm gonna let that happen? That's not gonna happen. It'll happen if you just a few when they first doing the few, but when it become a thing, they ain't gonna even be able to come on no block or nothing. People is not gonna let them run in their house. Those Black Panthers is the police, Charles. That's the police. Those Black Panthers are federal informants that's trying to escalate the situation. Those are not real Black Panthers. They ain't gonna even try it. They ain't gonna try it. Trump finna be out of here, and all that's gonna be over. Man, Trump's finna go bye-bye. Y'all didn't see him up there the other day rambling about playing baseball and stuff for 10 minutes. He's finished. And all his programs with him. A lot of them is going to prison. Why Latino games, not the ones stamped to ICE? Ain't nobody gonna stamp to ICE. Why would you do that? Why would you do that when ICE finna be out of here anyway? If I'm a Latino gang and I'm selling millions of dollars of illegal substances, I'm not finna say shit to ICE. I'm gonna just keep running business. Shit. I'm not gonna mess up my business. That ICE situation is finna be over. That's not gonna last. It's finna be over. Trump is finna be out of office, either for medical conditions, most likely for medical. He's sick. And once he's out of there, all that shit's out of there with him. They trying to make us come outside and join the protest, but that's going to fail. You have to understand that they're trying to bring in a cashless society all around the world. Russia, Europe, Africa, everywhere. There's only one place in the world that's going to resist the cashless society, the mark of the beast. I've been telling y'all this. The mark of the beast is not going to work in the United States. I've been telling you. The United States is the holy place. This New Jerusalem. Facts. Yeah, they grabbing Somalis that just ain't been videoed, Charles. Yes, Somalians is being grabbed left and right. They're not videoing everybody being grabbed, Charles. They're grabbing anybody. They definitely locking up Somalians left and right, and Haitians too. But the mark of the beast and all that stuff in the Bible, it's going to work everywhere, but here it's not going to work here. It's the holy place. Yeah, it's not. That's not going to work here. That's why. That's why. If you look, that's why the whole world hates the USA, because these big rich bankers, they control everywhere else in the world but America. And no matter what you say, the powers that be that run this country on the evil side, they don't like Donald Trump because he won't cooperate. Donald Trump wouldn't take no damn mark or no damn beast over here. That's not going to happen under him. He's corrupting all that. But he's standing on the old school principles. He will never, that's not going to happen with him. He's a rebel. Donald Trump ain't taking no cash, no mark, or no damn beast. I'm telling you. He's an asshole all the way around the board. That's the one thing you got to like about him. He's not a half an asshole. He's a 100% asshole. He's not going to do nothing that nobody wants. He not doing no cashless society. He doing cash. America's not taking the mark of the beast. This the holy place. This the rebels. This the last stand. The United States. All them other suckers are taking. Man, we not taking that. Americans? Yeah, all right. If you think America's going to take that, you don't know Americans. Americans is the most armed citizens in the world. Tell me I'm lying. Name citizens anywhere in this world that's armed to the teeth like America. They try to turn against us. All the American citizens got too many guns. Other countries like Switzerland, we don't got all them guns. We don't got all them guns in Germany. We don't got no guns in Africa. Nobody got no guns. They always trying to down America because we got all these guns. Y'all ain't noticed that? They always saying America got too many guns. Trump, what you gonna do about all these guns? People getting shot. Trump like, well, people gonna get killed. We ain't taking guns away though. We're not taking guns away because 10 people get shot here, people get shot there. No, we ain't taking away our guns. Get the hell out of here. We the only people got guns. ICE is limited in the United States. ICE is limited. Listen. Show me some video of ICE in Chicago in the black community clowning like that. Show me some video, because they was here, and I'm here. Show me some videos. Well, this big tough ICE came in these biggest black city in the country with black folks. Show me where they ran up went on the south side and started acting a fool. Show it to me. Show me ICE on the south side of Chicago acting a fool. Show me ICE on the west side acting a fool. Show it to me. Show me ICE piss off niggas in Chicago. Show it to me. Make me a believer, because they was here. Everybody like, they gonna come, they gonna do all this. They came and it was quiet, wasn't it? Remember when ICE came and everybody was on there? They coming to Chicago, they gonna get y'all. When they came to Chicago, what happened? How much news did it make? How much news did it make? They in bumfuck Egypt. That little ass place where they at, that ain't nothing. They went where it's soft. That's a soft target. Minnesota? Really? Show me them in Washington, D.C. in the black neighborhood tripping. They went to Washington. They showed pictures of them walking around with a couple of black dudes sitting on the porch. But they did not show them in Washington, D.C. pushing no line like that. When they was in Chicago, they was standing downtown on Wacker Drive, standing around. They harassed a few Mexicans, tried to harass the Mexicans. Yeah, they'll do San Jose. They'll do places like that. They'll go to L.A. They went to L.A. and grandstand at McGriffith Park. But they didn't go to the hood in L.A. where the blacks at playing like that. You don't see them in Detroit where the blacks at playing like that. You don't see them in Chicago where we at playing with us like that. Show me them playing with us. Show me. Because we don't believe in no Superman. We believe you a man, I'm a man. We don't believe no Superman. I don't believe no Superman. You can put on a uniform and big letters and all that. You just another dude. You know what I'm saying? And we believe your heart pump Kool-Aid. We believe you got the outfit on and you could do, but we don't believe when the pressure hit. We don't believe you. We don't believe you can take the pressure though. I don't believe it. But you got to understand, Black Americans, we support ICE. That's what a lot of people understand. ICE ain't coming at us because we support ICE. That's why they got that fake Black Panther in there trying to make it look like Black Americans don't support ICE. No, we don't support Dude. Dude is an agent. We support ICE because we don't like none of these foreigners that came here. We wouldn't give a damn if they throw you all out. You ain't showed us no love. I don't care nothing about no Somalian, no Venezuelan, or none of them. They ain't benefited us none. Bye. We hope ICE don't get every last one of you. I speak for Foundation of Black Americans. We hope ICE get them all. I'm on ICE side. Get them. And get them the hell out of here. Because I don't stand up for somebody who ain't my friend. You can't be my friend when you get in trouble. You got to be my friend in the first place. And everybody know Africans suck. Africans is not Black Americans' friends. Africans is haters. Y'all know that. Y'all know that. Black Americans are typically Christians. Black Americans don't have no relationship with Africans. You think Black American Christians gonna ride with some Islamic Africans? Black Americans don't like Islam like that. It's too fanatical. We want to go shake our booty on Saturday and we want to go love Jesus Sunday. We never don't want our women wrapped up in all that shit. We like our women, we want to see some titties and ass. Don't come here trying to wrap people up. I mean, I'm gonna just be honest. We don't really mess with fanatical Islam. To us, that's a police religion. That's a police religion. Because you police your own people. I got to do all these shit according to Islam. The men got the women doing others, but the men's is some perverts. So the men got the women all passive, all wrapped up, but he out sleeping with prostitutes and naked chicks. Because Islam is one of the most phoniest religions, where the men ain't what they make the women be. They make you be that. But behind the scenes, they just like everybody else. Probably worse. Remember when the terrorists, when they ran in them terrorists and they had all them pictures of Muhammad and stuff, and then when they moved them, it was naked pictures behind the women, and they were like hung the holy Islamic pictures in front of the naked women. In some cases, they would have a towel hanging over it. And when the feds took the towel down, it's a naked white chick. How you holy? You go in the country in Africa and you grape all the women. Allah told you to grape all the women in East Africa when y'all in Darfur, in Somalia, in Sudan. Allah say that the Islamic militants supposed to grape all the women. That's holy. That's righteous. Whatever. Radical Islam, that fanatical Islam, got no chance in the United States. It's never going to go nowhere. Where it's going to go is the hell up out of here. You're going to have to get the hell out. Because as soon as you try to tell me I got to do this, me and you going to have a problem, Mubraka. Abdul, I'm not listening to shit you say. If Allah told you to do that shit, you better go talk to Allah and shut up talking to me. And don't be trying to tell me you no terrorist, because I could terrorize too. You ain't the only terrorist. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You ain't the only terrorist out here. Anybody could be a terrorist. All that means is to terrorize. You could be terrorized too, punk. That long outfit and that head wrap don't really make you King Kong or Superman. You're not Superman. We don't believe you're Superman. I don't believe it. When you come out battling me, you're going to have to put some pants on, because you ain't going to be able to move with that long thing on. You ain't going to be able to maneuver out here. You know what I'm saying? So no, the United States, no. None of that coming here because it's fanatical. It was one thing, like we got people here that Sikhs from India. The Sikhs just be Sikhs. And they just mind they Sikh business. We got people here that's Buddhists. And the Buddhists just be Buddhists and mind their business. We got people that's Rastafarian. Rastafarian just be Rastas and mind their business. But Islam is always trying to tell everybody what to do. They're always trying to have a jihad. See what I'm saying? And we're going to jihad. Go sit your ass down and pray to your God and sit your ass down and practice your religion and keep that to yourself. So yeah, Trump, get them out of here. All the fanatical Muslims, get them out of here, because they don't fit the American lifestyle. They don't. They don't fit the way we live over here. Over here, you got to mind your business. You can't come to this country trying to convert nobody. No. And your stuff be raggedy because you got different levels of living in Islam. And these the dusty Islam Muslims. These ain't the rich Dubai Muslims. See what I'm saying? because the black people in Islam is the gutter of Islam, the slaves of Islam. They're not respected. Blacks and Orthodox Islam is not respected. They've been conquered by the Arabs. They slaves to the Arabs. Everybody know it. They slaves to the Saudis and all of them. They don't run nothing. They up under them. Their minds and stuff is Arabs. That's who they look up to. You see what I'm saying? For real. That ain't even their religion. They was converted with the gun. Look at East Africa. How they getting converted? With the gun. Not out of love for God. They be forced. And then they try to get them to go and force the rest of the Africans. That's why we got all that problems going on in Nigeria, in Burkina, north of Burkina, and in East Africa. It's a whole bunch of problems going on up there with Islam terrorizing the black Africans, trying to make them convert to Islam. They'll watch me right now, and then they want to jihad me, but I'm in Chicago, and we're jihad. You're not going to do nothing. You can't even come here with that. You cannot come to Chirac with none of that. The Muslims we got here is quiet, and they know they go and they, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because here, you know what I'm saying? We only respect the Nation of Islam, Farrakhan now. Oh, we don't respect y'all. We got our own Muslim king. His name Farrakhan. You know what I'm saying? That's our Islamic king. We already got our, we mess with Elijah Muhammad, Khalid Muhammad, Malcolm X, Farrakhan. That's our Islam. We don't mess with y'all's Islam. Elijah made that clear in case y'all done forgot. Yeah, in case y'all done forgot. We NOI over here. Over here, we NOI. We black Muslims. We not, none of that. We're not doing none of that. None of that Orthodox stuff. We're not doing that racist Orthodox stuff. This stuff's racist. You go to the jihad over there and see how they treat the black ones. Like dirt. Go over there to the, not the jihad, when they all go to the pilgrimage, whatever that's called. Man, you should see how they treat the African ones, like dirt. Man, they treat Africans real bad. Real bad. All up in Libya. Remember Gaddafi's son's wife scalded that Ethiopian woman, threw that hot water on her and scalded her? That was Gaddafi's son's wife. Gaddafi never liked black people. He only wanted to sleep with your women. Now, I'm not pushing no type of hate. I'm pushing, we ain't doing no hate. That's what I'm pushing. So don't get it wrong. I'm not pushing no hate against Islam and none of that. I'm saying we don't want nobody coming here pushing hate, pushing religious hate, pushing that you're supposed to make somebody bow to your religion. Nah. No, we not doing that. That's why so many black Americans support Trump. We support Trump because he do a lot of crazy stuff and he do a lot of good stuff. You got to take the bad with the good. It all depends on what side of the bed he wake up on. But as far as the United States, I've been saying that United States is the promised land. United States is the only country that's going to stand up to the mark of the beast and the cashless society. Remember, I said it first. The United States is the only country that's going to stand up to the globalists. Watch. When they start pushing the mark of the beast in the cash society, there is no place I would rather be than the United States. We ain't taking it. Man, Americans ain't taking that shit. You know what? Let me tell you something. You know why a lot of white Americans, you know why they like black Americans and don't like the other blacks? Because we black Americans, we think like the white Americans. And white Americans would tell you just like I'm telling you, ain't nobody forcing us to take shit. That's why they like us, because we Americans. We got American mentality. We want to be free. We want to do what we want to do. And we don't want nobody telling us what to do. Not no religion, not no government, or nobody. That's why we Americans. We believe in independence. As long as you ain't hurt nobody else, do your thing. That's what we believe. That's why so many Americans is mad with the LGBTQ community, because they just won't go be LGBTQ. You trying to push it on our kids. If you gay, just be gay. But don't be up at the school trying to push that on my kids. If you're trying to push that on my kids, that shit gonna go bad. This is to the LGBTQ community. Stop trying to push it. Because we allow you, we not bothering you. Go live your life. But as far as you now trying to push that, no. The LGBTQ gonna make themselves ops. They're gonna make themselves the enemy of the people. I don't want you teaching my grandchildren nothing about no sex at all. We don't want no sex in the school, heterosexual or homosexual. Take sex out the school. The American kids don't even read that good, so they can't even read about sex. We sending our children to school to learn how to read, to learn how to do math, stuff like that. We're not sending them to school to learn nothing about sex. They too young to have sex. And taking that, putting LGBTQ information in the school is pedophilia, and everybody know it. Okay? Everybody know it. You're trying to influence the children. Everybody know it. You're trying to influence the children to that lifestyle. That's not going to get it. That's not going to get it. And so to all the gay people watching me, tell your people, stop trying to push that on heterosexuals. It's going to blow up in your face. It's going to go the other way. You're going to keep pushing, and then when people push back, it's going to go bad. Because my daughter should not have to go and take boxing at no school, and she 5'7", 140 pounds, and she got to fight a dude 6'5" that say he a woman. My daughter want to swim. She only 5'9". She's swimming against a dude that say he consider himself a woman. He's 6'7". No, all this is foolishness. You identify as a woman, but we identify you as a man that think you're a woman. And since when your identity is real, your identity is false. You identify as a woman. We don't identify you as no damn woman. Somebody need to get that straight. You identify as a woman. That's fine. I think you got the right to identify as a woman. But you can't tell me I got to identify you as no woman. You a dude. That's what I identify you as. But you want to take away and say, I don't got the right to identify you. You the only one got the right to identify you. But yet you want to play basketball against my daughter. Now imagine you went to school, your daughter, and she fight a boy that identifies as a girl and beat your daughter up really bad with this foolishness. If it's that serious, create schools just for them, where they at least all alike. All of them boys that identify as a girl, let them go to school together and compete. But don't send them with the girls. I don't want nobody that's a boy in the bathroom with my daughter because we have mental illness and we can't guarantee that all of them is 100% going to act like a girl. He might be a pervert because we got crazy people. And some crazy dude will start saying he's a girl just so he could be around naked girls. We do have mental illness. You understand? You can't, so they trying to push some ideology trying to groom our children. They trying to groom our children. That's what they trying to do. They trying to groom our children. And parents been against that. I remember when I was in grade school, probably like the 5th grade, and they wanted to have sex education. And the parents didn't want it. The parents like, teach them social studies, teach them science, reading, arithmetic, math. Do not teach my boy no sex education. Some things have to be left to the parents. Some things got to be left up to the parents. And if the government don't do nothing about it, that's why I love America. The parents will take it into their own hands. That's what's going to happen. Because a father going to protect his kids. As soon as you put my granddaughter, because my kids are grown, as soon as you put my granddaughter in a position where this LGBTQ stuff can cause my granddaughter a problem, and the government's not handling it, then I gotta handle it. Because the government should protect our children. Sex and your sexual problems is for adults, not for children. And the rule should be, if you're a boy and you identify as a woman, then become 18 years old and then identify as a woman. We will not illegally accept you identifying as a woman if you are under 18. You can't get a beer until you're 21. So how could you go get a penis? How you could get a penis, but you can't get a beer? Make it make some sense. I say you got the right to identify how you want to identify. You should be left alone. But you should be a certain age where we can say you're psychologically ready. Because for me, I don't believe you should be able to get a sex change until you're 21 years old. I feel like we need to make sure that you're absolutely cognitive and aware on what you want to do. We should not let you make a choice like that as a child. That is messed up. Any real parent to tell you, you should not be allowed as a child to get a sex change. And any parent know that. Because when you're dealing with a child, your son come to you in the 7th, 8th grade tomorrow, Daddy, I want to play guitar. You go get him a guitar. You send him to guitar school. He in the 8th grade. By the time that boy a freshman, he like, Daddy, I want to do karate. He'll never pick the guitar up again. Am I lying? Am I lying? When I was young, I played trumpet. One day I said, Mom, I want to play guitar. She bought me a guitar. I went to guitar lessons 2 times, never went back. They'll play damn guitar. Because every time you look up, a young person want to do something different. They trying to find themselves and they trying stuff. So I would never let my son, if my son came to me and said, Daddy, I'm gay. I identify as a woman. I'd be like, listen, I'm your daddy and I identify as a daddy. Let me see your grades. Fuck all that. What's your grades? Because that's the only thing daddy identify as. He said, but daddy identifies as a girl. That's fine. You can be grown, you're going to be a woman. But are you going to be a dumbass woman? Okay, go to school and get your grade. Because whatever you identify, you're going to have to be able to get a job. You're going to be able to get make some money. So that trumps what you identify as. Because if you don't pay attention in school, you need to identify as a dumbass woman. No matter what, you still going to have to get you some education. So why are you worrying about what you identify as? Because you can't have no sex. And that's why I tell my kids, it don't matter what sex you think you is, you can't have sex. You cannot have sex. Because in my world, the only way you can have sex is if you pay your own rent and have sex in your own damn bed. You can't have sex in none of these beds in here. You can't have sex in here. You have to be old enough to have sex. You need to be able to pay for somewhere to have your own bed. This is what we're supposed to teach the gay kids and the heterosexual kids. Why are we letting children have sex that can't afford to have their own bed? Boy, you have your sex in your own bed. See that bed in your room? That's not your bed. That's my bed. Everything in this house is me and your mama. You don't got no bed. That's only your bed because that's the one you sleep in. So when you say your bed, that means that's the bed you sleep in. You don't own it. Me and your mama own the bed. That's our bed. That's not your bed. You cannot sleep in nothing here. Me and your mama have sex in here, but me and your mama pay the bills. You understand, son? So listen, son, repeat after me. You have to pay the cost to be the boss. Okay? To be the boss. Repeat what I just told you. You have to pay the cost to be the boss. You got it. Yeah, you gotta pay the cost. You want to have sex, you gotta pay for it. Ask your mama. I gotta pay to deal with your mama. I had to take her to dinner. I had to pick her up. I had to have a car. I didn't just have sex with your mama. If I didn't have no money, your mama wouldn't mess with me. Now, I ain't got no problem with you being gay. Listen, I don't have a problem with people being gay. Let me tell you, I was on the west side with my oldest daughter's mother. Rest in peace to her. We was walking home, and she ran into this dude, and he was gay. He was talking to her back and forth. Da, da, da. So when we left, you know what she said to me? She said, that's my friend so-and-so. She said, he's a woman trapped in a man's body. And I was like, ooh. Because I do believe there's men trapped in a woman's body, and I believe there's women trapped in a man's body. And I'm going to tell you why. Let's say this is life. This is a pregnancy. So let's say my wife get pregnant, she have a baby, it's a boy. Now, they say, oh, it's a girl, because they say you're all a girl, and then you switch to a boy. So let's say the embryo is a girl. The embryo go over here, turn to a boy. But let's say it's a girl, and the embryo go about right here or about right there. So now it starts to develop the mind of a woman, but because it don't go all the way over here, it still has it just starts developing the mind of a boy, right? Or let's say it go right here. If it go right there, it starts to turn into a boy. But it's not far away enough to get rid of the mind of a woman. So the body, born a woman, the body goes, instead of going here, turning into a full man, what is it going to be if it go there? What if it's going to be if it only go there? So every birth is not going to necessarily go from here to there, right? There's going to be variations. There's going to be have some that go from here to about right there. So now she got the body of a woman, but she beginning to develop like a boy. She went too far across the line, but the body didn't change. So I do believe, out of having so many babies, some of them are going to be in the middle in here. Everybody not going to be there, female, and their male. Yes, this female, this male, but what is this? What is that? That could be anything. I had an uncle, my Uncle Sidney. Rest in peace to my Uncle Sidney. And my Uncle Sidney used to like to wear pink and shit. He had a pink Mustang, right? He would get his nails be done and shine, and he wouldn't put nail polish on them. And my Uncle Sidney, when he would come see my mom, be like, hey, Bessie, hey, girl, and all that. But he had a daughter and everything. So one day I asked my daddy, I said, Dad, is Uncle Sidney gay? And my dad said, no, Sidney always been like that. I said, are you kidding? Like, no, even when he was little. Sidney always been feminine like that. So I believe my Uncle Sidney was born somewhere in here, where he was to the point where he still slept with women, but he acted like one. Facts. Or he might have just been with women because society forced him. He might have wanted to be with a man, but because he born back in the 30s or whatever, in the late 20s, maybe he couldn't. So maybe he was forced to act like a man. But he was for sure feminine, naturally. He was just like that. So I'm not anti-gay. I support LGBTQ, but I'm anti any sex with children. I'm anti-heterosexual or homosexual. No sex for children. None. No sex. No sex for children. None. No sex for children. They say, well, you need to teach them in case they have sex. No, you need to teach them don't have sex. And if they break them rules, they get whatever they're supposed to get. You're not supposed to make it easy for them to break the rules. Simple. You too little to have sex.